Hello friends, welcome to Corporate Tax Planning and Management for third semester MBA, Bangalore University. Well friends, let me start with module 1, that is assessment of corporate associates. Today let me take up the concept of residential status of a company. The two types of company, that is Indian company or a foreign company, which needs to be recognized as either resident in India or non-resident in India. The conditions which are required to be checked are discussed in this session today. Well, an Indian company is always a resident in India. Let me repeat, an Indian company is always a resident in India, irrespective of any other factors. We need not check any other factors. If it is an Indian company, straight away we can classify it as resident in India. Now, the basic question which arises here is, what is an Indian company? Well, friends, any company, if it is registered in India as per the Companies Act, it will be an Indian company. So, an Indian company is always a resident in India, irrespective of other factors. Even if an Indian company is controlled from a place outside India, then still an Indian company will be classified as resident in India. In short, an Indian company can never be a non-resident. Moving on to the second category, foreign company. Here, in case of foreign company, we need to check the turnover of a foreign company. If it is less than 50 crores, if it is 50 crores or less than 50 crores in a financial year, then it is always categorized as non-resident in India. In short, a foreign company whose turnover or gross receipts is 50 crores or less than 50 crores, it cannot be resident in India. It is always non-resident in India. The last category, the foreign company, if its turnover is more than 50 crores, turnover or gross receipts in the previous year is more than 50 crores. In that case, friends, we need to check the POEM, that is the general term, which stands for place of effective management. Now, a place of effective management, we need to check the place of effective management. If the place of effective management is in India, then it will be classified as resident in India. Otherwise, it will be classified as non-resident in India. If the turnover is greater than 50 crores, we need to check an additional criteria, that is whether its place of effective management is in India or not. If it is in India, it will be classified as resident in India. Now, the main question arises as to what is POEM, that is place of effective management. Friends, place of effective management means a place where key management and commercial decisions that are necessary for conducting a business of the entity is taken. It is, let me repeat, it is a key management and commercial decision which is be necessary for any business to be run. Well, that was a pictorial representation of the conditions to classify it to be resident or non-resident. Well, in your exam, there's a popular question which is always asked in your previous exams, that is, briefly explain the residential status of company. The same concept have written in a question and answer format. Let me read it out. Briefly explain the residential status of a company, and as a first point, an Indian company is always resident in India. It is a popular 5 marks question. Second criteria will be a foreign company whose turnover or gross receipts is more than 50 crores is resident in India if its POEM, that is place of effective management during the relevant previous year, is in India. The third one, the foreign company whose turnover or gross receipts is less than 50 crores is always a non-resident in India. Let me take up a few instances or examples which may make it much clearer. To begin with, the first one reads as X Limited is an Indian company. Let me repeat, it is an Indian company. The business of the company is fully controlled from outside India. Here, since X Limited is an Indian company, we can straight away conclude that X Limited is resident in India. This rule is applicable irrespective of the fact that company is fully controlled from outside India. You need not bother about the second sentence. Since it is an Indian company, straight away conclude it as resident in India. The second one, well, Y Limited is a company incorporated in Mauritius. Turnover is more than 50 crores. The company has active business outside India and is controlled wholly from outside India. Well, friends, Y Limited is a foreign company. Since it is incorporated in Mauritius, it is a foreign company. Its turnover, as given in the question, is more than 50 crores. Also, it is said that it is controlled wholly from outside India. That is, place of effective management is outside India. The two criteria which we need to check in case of foreign companies, the turnover. Since in this case it is more than 50 crores, we need to check the additional condition, that is whether its place of effective management is in India or not. In the question, it is said that it is outside India. So straight away we can conclude that Y Limited is non-resident in India. Moving on to the third question. Z Limited is incorporated in Japan. Gross annual turnover of the company for the previous year is rupees 48 crores. From mainly the operations conducted from Korea, Sri Lanka and India. The company is managed by a team of professionals from India. Z Limited is a foreign company. Since it is incorporated in Japan, we can conclude that it is a foreign company. Now, the next thing which we need to check in case of foreign company is a turnover. Since it is clearly mentioned as 48 crores, which is less than 50 crores, we need not bother about the other conditions here. Since it is less than 48 crores, we can straight away conclude that it is non-resident in India. Z Limited is non-resident in India. Thank you, friends. I kindly request you to subscribe to this channel and also share and click on the like button. Thank you.